it's Alex Librarian. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to give a book summary on the book Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, which is the third and final book of the Magnus Chase trilogy, unless Rick Riordan decides to publish another one of this series, which probably wouldn't happen because it seems like the end of the trilogy. So let's get right into the summary. So first of all, Magnus has a very hard task given to him on stopping Loki from sailing on his ship Nalgfar on Midsummer. So they don't really know what to do, so they just start sailing on Magnus's father, Frey's ship. So in the middle of sailing, they meet 9 sea giants, and they bring them to the Sea Lord Iger. And as you may know from the previous books, Iger's wife named Ran hates Magnus really much. But Iger and Magnus, they come up with a plan to help each other. Iger would let Magnus leave if he brings back some Kvasir's mead and beat Loki in fighting. And that gave Magnus an idea, because Magnus found out that the only way to beat Loki was in fighting, and the only way to beat Loki was to drink the Kvasir's mead. And if you don't know what a fighting is, it's basically a battle of insults, and whoever wins is the person who insults the other worse. So they have to find the Kvasir's mead to beat Loki, and they have to defeat the guards that are keeping the mead. And the only way to do that is to find Bulwark's whetstone. So after Iger releases them, Magnus meets his grandfather, Nord, which is the father of Frey. Nord tells them that they have to split up. 2 of them, Blitz and Hearthstone, they have to find the Bulwark's whetstone, which is where his dad is where Hearth's dad is located. And if you don't know who Hearth's dad is, I recommend you reading the second book or watch my second summary, because that will fill you in on him. So so they have to split up, and Nord tells the other people, Magnus, Sam, Alex, and the other crew members, to go find Hronger in York, England. So they go there, they go to York, and then they try to find the giant. And they eventually beat the giant, and the giant tells them that the mead is located in Flom. And so they then go to Flom, but when they go to Flom, they get intercepted by Blitz and Hearthstone, and they said that they couldn't, they found out where the whetstone is, and they found out where his father is, but they need Magnus's help. So Magnus and Blitz and Hearthstone, they go to Alfheim, where his father is located, and the others guard the ship and stay there at Flom. So then the trio, they go to Alfheim, and Magnus discovers that Hearth's dad has turned into a dragon, from an elf to a dragon, because if you didn't know from the last book, that he wore a ring, and then that ring curses you, and then he turns into a dragon for some reason. So then they have to defeat the dragon in order to get the whetstone, which Hearth's father has, and he collects a lot of things. So the only way to do that is to stab the dragon's underbelly. But when you stab the underbelly, the blood comes out, and the blood can kill you. So they give the task to Magnus, and Magnus somehow manages to cut his stomach and not get injured. So Then after that, Magnus realizes another piece of news that Harth has to eat his dad because when you kill a cursed ring dragon, you have to eat it, or the child of that dragon has to eat the dragon. So Harth chooses to eat it and gains all the knowledge of his dad. And then they go back to Flom to find the mead. And they first encounter an old lady. And Mallory, she says she knows that lady. It's the person who caused her death. And if you don't know, all these people are already dead. They're just alive somehow. It's kind of confusing. So Mallory, she encounters the woman, and the woman says she's the goddess Frigg. And Frigg is one of the most important goddesses. And Frigg says that she is Mallory's mother. Mallory, however, is not so thrilled. She kind of hates Frigg and she's not very happy, while the others are like aghast that her mother is Frigg. So Frigg tells them some advice, and then they find the mead. So when they go to the mead, place with the mead, there are a bunch of giant guardians. And what the bulwark whetstone does, it sharpens anything. So what the master of the giants, he tells them that they can be released once they finish cutting all the fields. But once they finish cutting the fields, it grows back again. So it'll never stop because their blade is getting duller and duller. So they hand them the bulwark whetstone, and they all try to get it. But they end up all stabbing each other with their scythes. And then they all manage to die, and then they steal the whetstone, the mead, and then they go to Niflheim, where they will meet Loki. So when they get to Niflheim, it's like super cold. It's like it almost kills them, and then they need to like wrap in blankets. They even need help from giants to stay warm. And then they finally go to the ship, and that's where Magnus encounters Loki, and they start the flaying. Although Loki starts winning at the beginning, and Magnus starts shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, Magnus managed to win by insulting him that although he has a ship of full of people, they're not on his team, and nobody is with him, and he is all alone. And he talks about all of his friends and how they're important to him, and how he is a nobody with no friends, and he is alone. And that causes Loki to shrink super tiny, and Mallory uses a nut to trap Loki. And then that's where they finish the fighting. Now they have to go to the gods to get their reward. So when they go to the gods, they hand them Loki's nut, and they also tell them about Iger and how he needs a bit of mead, and he needs and yeah. So that's the end of the whole trilogy, and I hope you enjoyed the Rick Riordan series, because this is like the last one of all his books. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe and like this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.